Hello, this is Edward Troxel and welcome to part 6 of the rendering series. In this one we are going to actually export a PNG file, and this will allow us to take snapshots of any area of the screen. So any part of the video that we wanted a screenshot of, we could easily get that using this technique. We are going to take a screenshot of the cursor position, but this could easily be modified to take multiple screenshots. If you had, say, for example, a bunch of markers on the timeline, you could take a screenshot of each marker. So let's take a look at this. We've already started with all of the code already added, so we'll go through all the changes that we've made so that you can see everything that has happened. First thing I've done is added another radio button here for snapshot. And then over here you can see I have changed the text of it to snapshot, which is what we saw on the screen. And I changed the name of it to RDO snapshot. Now when we go over to the code, we will see that our button render click routine now has an option of if RDO snapshot.checked, then we're going to export an image. We already had the RDO full checked, the RDO region checked, special checked, projects checked. Now we've added the if RDO snapshots checked. And we're going to call the export image routine, which we've added right here. So let's scroll up and we'll look at everything that we've done here. The first thing I've done is I've got 4 pieces that I really want to change. This is the render quality, make sure the preview is full size, make sure that I have the field order correct, and make sure that I change the deinterlace method. But I don't want to change what the person had used for their settings, so I want to be able to change this back when I'm finished. So right now I'm getting the original preview quality setting, which is the render quality, the original preview size. Then we get the original field order and save that, and then we get the original deinterlace method and save that. Now that I have all of this information saved, I'm going to change it to what I want it to be for my snapshot. So we're going to change the render quality to be best. We're going to change full size to true, so we're looking at best, full. I'm going to change it to a progressive scan so I don't have any interlacing issues. And then we're going to change this to the deinterlace method to interpolate fields. And then just in case, I'm going to update the user interface on Vegas so that it gets all of these changes in effect before I take the screenshot. So now I'm going to create my full file name, which I'm going to get from the directory box just like we did before. Then we're going to add the name that we type into the file name box, and then I am going to manually add .png. And then we will do the save snapshot command, in which we'll pass it the file name, and we'll tell it what format to save it in, and the location we're going to save it in is the cursor position. For our image format, we actually have a couple of options here. If I press dot, you will see that I could save it as a JPEG, a PNG, or an unknown. Obviously you wouldn't use unknown, so we have JPEG and PNG, so we're using PNG in this case, which is why we added .png up above. If we had used JPEG, then we would put .jpg up here. Now that the snapshot has been saved, we want to go back and restore all of the settings that we had before. So we changed the render quality back to what we had saved, change the full size back to whatever it was before, change the field order back to the original field order, and then change the deinterlace method back to the original deinterlace method. So now we've changed everything that we changed back to the user's preferred settings for this particular project. Now let's start Vegas and see how it works. We have this video clip on the timeline, and let's say that we want to take a snapshot of this screen right here, and it is at the cursor location, so we can now run our script. So we'll go to Tools, Scripting, Run Script. And in this case, we're going to run the JETDV render DLL that we compiled. It doesn't matter what render is selected because we're not going to be using that in this case. Let's browse. We're going to pick drive C. And let's go ahead and pick our watch render test folder. And then let's just name this Honeymoon Fund, since that's what it says on the jar. And we'll click on Snapshot, and then we'll click on Render. Now let's open our watch render test folder, and you will see we have a Honeymoon Fund image listed there. And there we see the image is open. Naturally, for a single screenshot in Vegas, it is just as simple to go ahead and just click on the Save Snapshot to File button. But if you had several markers on the screen, then you could do them all at once using this technique and just go through and loop through the list of markers instead of having to go through each one and clicking this button separately. In fact, you could even name the markers whatever name you wanted the file to be, and then you could pick up the file name from the marker name. So now we figured out how to render the full project, render regions, render small segments of the project, and even taken some screenshots. And this has been a long series, so I hope you have enjoyed it. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.